fear is being tortured by Christians, but there is a real fear that we will face the sort of persecution that Christians have faced in the Islamic world.
Why will my ordinary Muslim friends start torturing people? Tell me.
Well, you see, are they nominal Muslims, or do they believe in the Quran and what the Quran teaches?
They're just people that are Muslims, but they get on with their life. Like there are millions of Christians that don't go to church, but they're still Christians.
You regard this term Muslim as just another label which you can take off and put on. But
no, because you're making it. Because you, and so is Christianity. Devout Catholicism is a very serious faith, and some people in Malta go to church 5-6 times a day because it's a serious religion in their eyes, and they're ruled by it.
Well, you know, we see the Muslims, the way they dress, the way they behave, the food they eat, the way they form these big colonies, segregate themselves from the rest of society around their mosque. We see what they're doing. They're taking ground in a society, and they've got a goal to take over. And terror is part of that goal. This is the problem. And Muhammad said, I conquered
terror from some people. Some mindless mental basket cases that think that as an ideology it works for them. But there are millions and millions that just want to get on with their life, have their children, have a wonderful family, have a lifetime, go on holiday, enjoy their life. Just ordinary people.
I know. I wish that was true, right?
Oh, please, Bob. There are, how many? There's 1 billion. How many people are Muslims in this world?
No, but you're missing the point, Bob.
No, I'm not missing the point at all. I'm trying to balance your absolute... You have a downer on every single Muslim.
No, I don't at all. People,
well, then why don't you take it? Why don't you take it? There are millions that just want to get on with their life. They don't care.
Yeah. When we faced communism or Nazism, there were millions of Germans and Russians who just wanted to get on with their life.
Absolutely.
But it was the ideology that was the problem. It was the ideology that was creating all the tension, all the violence. Because Islam has this notion of jihad, holy war, killing for Allah, at the heart of its faith. I mean, when Muhammad died, the Muslims left Arabia as a massive army and just started to attack and conquer lands around
Well, isn't that when Richard sent all those Christians over to attack them so they could fight?
No, that was 500 years later. Eventually, we had to rise to the challenge, you know. And this is the point. We have to rise to the challenge. We can't allow our kids to...
So tell me, where do the Jews fit into your ideology? Doesn't that scare you, the way they take over?
Well, the Jews... I mean, people don't feel under threat. You don't feel scared of the Jews.
They used to. They used to think that they control the world, that they controlled banks, they controlled every finance, and they were hated. Why? I'll never know to this day, but they were hated.
Well, there's only a few 100,000 Jews in this country, and it's actually a shrinking population. We know the Muslim population is exploding. It's doubling every generation. So we can see into the future, and we think, they could take over this. They're taking over city after city. You go to Bradford, you go to Birmingham, you go to Dewsbury, you go to Luton, you go to London itself. And you think, 20 years ago, these cities were totally different. And we can see ahead, and we're frightened, Pete.
I'm not frightened.
People are frightened.
I'm not frightened.
Yeah, but would it bother you if the Muslims did take over?
Take over what, though?
Take over city after city, and then take over the country eventually.
And how would they take over? What you mean a couple of people in government would then take over and change everything?
They would.
You think Christians would allow that to happen?
Well, they've allowed them to take over Bradford, they've allowed them to take over Birmingham, they've allowed them to become the mayor of London, they've allowed them to take over Luton.
Do you think it was wrong that he was... No, I can't talk about the mayor, sadly.
Yeah, you can't talk about politics, Pete.
No.
But the thing is, right, this is the issue, right, the core issue. Are you happy to see Islam take over and change our culture, change our way of life, and start... They will, without a doubt, because they do it.
But surely your God won't allow it. Surely your God that you believe in, because you have a different type of religion to any Christian I know, because the Christians I know love one another, love thy neighbour. You don't.
Absolutely.
But you don't.
Of course I love my neighbour.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Well, that's your judgment.
No, Muslims could be your neighbours, Bob.
But Pete, I've told you before, I love Muslims. It's the ideology of Islam which really terrifies me. If they could free themselves from Islam and cease to be Muslims, well, then we'd all be much more relaxed about it. But this ideology is absolutely terrifying, Pete, and it's taking ground in our country. And we're trying to pretend that it's not a menace and it's not a threat.
No, we know it's a menace. We've just had the most dreadful thing happen in Manchester. We know it's a menace.
Well, how are we going to stop the next one, Pete?
Well, how do we stop something when we don't know what's living next door to us, when we don't know what somebody is planning, when we don't know that we walk somebody in the street next to us that wants to do what that vile monster did in Manchester? That man that was on before that just swore at me that nobody heard. How do I know that he's not going to walk past me in town tomorrow and stab me? How do I know that?
The thing about Islam, Pete, it's not a secret.
I asked you a question. Why do you go back to it? No, but you go back to Islam. No, hang on. Hang on. I'm having my say. I'm pulling the mic down. Every time I mention anything else, you never answer. You answer with your take on Muslims. I asked you a simple question. That man was vile that came on before. How do I know he's not going to stab me down the street? And the point I'm making is, how do we know who lives next door to us?
I think that man, even though he was wrong to swear at you, will know it's totally wrong, and it's actually going to be to his detriment if he does stab you. But
well, that's no good to me. That's like a terrorist. That's no good to me. When a terrorist has killed all those people, maimed all those children and those beautiful people waiting, that's no good to them.
Yeah, but that terrorist didn't think it was wrong what he did.
No,
he thought it was right.
And nor do people that go out shooting people around the town when they're looking for drugs barons. You know, and they've got kids working them on bikes, shooting people because they don't think it's wrong, Bob.
Well, that guy who blew himself up, he thinks he's going to paradise.
Oh, no, he does. And that's why he's mental. And that's why he's ballistic.
No. But the Imam said, it says in the Quran, it is right to kill non-believers.
Yeah, you're the only one that said that. Now, I will have Zia on tomorrow, who's going to talk about it yet again. I wish you wouldn't do that. It's such an insult when you do that. He's a very intelligent. He's a very intelligent man. See, you don't like intelligent men, do you? Answer you back. That's the difference.
I like truth, Pete. I like truth.
So you're calling him a liar? Hang on. Are you calling him a liar on my show? Now, remember, he's a barrister. I'm asking you a question. Hang on. I'm asking you a question of 4 minutes to 11. Are you calling Zia Chaudhry, who written a best-selling book, are you calling him a liar?
I've read it.
Are you calling him a liar?
And that book is full of lies.
I've asked you a question. Are you calling him a liar?
Is he a Muslim, Pete?
I've asked you a question. Are you calling him a liar? Simple question. No.
Because Muhammad says...
No, I'm asking you a question. That's why you're just as devious as everybody else, because you won't answer the question. It's a very simple question, Bob. We've already seen you in the paper once before when you answered something wrong. I'll ask you again. I'll put the mic up and ask you, are you calling Zia Chaudhry a barrister? Are you calling him a liar?
Yes, and that's...
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Let's take a break.
Hi, my name's Richard, food scientist at Sick Holiday. People get sick on holiday as a result of poor hygiene in the hotels. Your holiday that you've saved up for all year is left in ruins. Why go to Sick Holiday? We understand the science, we understand the law, and we understand how to successfully claim for these genuine cases. We can get you the compensation you deserve so that next year you can get the holiday that you'd actually dreamt of this year.
Last year alone, SickHoliday.com helped over 10,000 people get money back for a holiday that was ruined by sickness. Let them help you.
Click SickHoliday.com.
You know the saying, blink and you'll miss it? Well, you could use it for TalkTalk's Fibre Flash sale. Because for a very short time you can get TalkTalk Fibre, which is 4 times faster than standard ADSL broadband, for just £25 a month including line rental, for 2 whole years. It's Britain's lowest priced fibre compared to Sky, BT and Virgin over 24 months, saving you up to £535 versus BT. But hurry, the flash sale ends on Thursday. Search TalkTalk Fibre and join now. TalkTalk, for everyone.
Comparison with BT excludes voucher and is based on TalkTalk's faster up to 38 meg and BT's Infinity One up to 52 meg packages. Contract and conditions apply.
Heads or tails? Red or black? Sometimes taking a chance means big rewards. So if you dream of a job in the creative industry, listen up. Making Creativity Work is a free, flexible training programme funded by the European Social Fund and delivered by the Bauer Academy. Print journalism, radio, digital marketing, fashion. We're home to the hands-on experience, practical skills and industry experts you need to get the job you want. If you're unemployed and aged over 19, apply now at makingcreativitywork.co.uk. Eligibility criteria applies.
You know you're Baroque from your rock, from your contemporary jazz, from your German underground progressive minimal techno. But do you know your pension options? PensionWise is a service set up by the government to provide free, impartial guidance about your pension pot. If you're over 50, call 0800 138 1888 to book your free telephone or face-to-face appointment. PensionWise. Get to know your options.
Make a real day of it on a Stagecoach bus. With a Group Day Rider ticket, the whole family can